Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
We're back for more Bumble shenanigans, and oh boy, it's gonna be exciting, Ian. We have a lot of stuff going on this month, of course, as always already. But I mean, this is another one. This is it. This is it. This is the final BumbleKast for today.
It's the only BumbleKast for today.
Yeah, so there's one every day in December.
Every weekday, it's a regular priority Q&A. It's a BumbleKast Mini. We'll have the live show at the end of the month as usual. Non-stop BumbleKast goodness, our gift to you here in the month of December. But today we're covering questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Indeed. Here's one starting us off from John B. So a live-action Zelda movie's been announced. What are your hopes and fears for the movie?
So the producer behind the film, Avi Arad, has kind of a mixed bag to his name, to say the least. The director and the writer are best known for their work on Maze Runner, that series, which is also a bit of a mixed bag. The Jurassic World series, which doesn't instill me with a great deal of hope, and Rise of Skywalker, which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that got executive meddled into the ground. I wouldn't really lay the blame at anyone's feet for that film particularly, but this mix of folks, it does not instill confidence in me. So I'm in the position where I want to be happily surprised, but my expectations are low.
I really don't have... I don't really have any desire for this to even be a movie. Like, why is this a thing? Like, if it were animated, maybe, but I really am not feeling, especially like a live action one. I'm just not. I have nothing. I feel nothing about this, Ian. Like, it was brought up and I felt nothing.
I'm not opposed to it being live action, especially since how so much live action these days is really a CGI movie anyway.
Yeah, I know, but still.
If they can capture the larger than life set pieces, the whimsy and the magic of Hyrule, give it that kind of Lord of the Rings treatment, a little grounded, but it still is capable of grandiose things. I could see that working well enough, but there's also the aspect of it's, The Legend of Zelda. It's a sweeping fantasy epic. So it's fitting all that into one movie. I guess it's possible. I would think it would work better as a television series. Episodic adventures, Link overcoming trials, always working towards a singular goal. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, but also, like, Zelda games are usually like a very solitary thing too. So I'm wondering, like, what are they gonna do as far as like characters? Because is it just gonna be following Link around mute? Not saying anything. I don't like
he'll
that.
talk, I'm sure.
I know he'll talk. I know. I'm not looking forward to that, honestly. Not looking forward to Link opening his mouth and saying anything, any actual words. Especially if he's played by somebody like Chris Pratt. No, he's not going to be played by Chris Pratt. He's not going to be played by Chris Pratt. He's going to be played by Tom Holland, because of course he is.
I like Tom Holland. I'll get behind that.
I mean, yeah, but like everybody is Tom Holland now.
I know.
Just like everybody's either Chris Pratt or Tom Holland. Like if you need the generic white guy, you call Chris Pratt. If you need a younger looking generic white guy, you call Tim Holland. Oh, I don't want it, Ian. I don't want it.
Tom Holland.
Even
if it comes out and even if it, realizes all our worst fears and dreads, we don't have to watch it. We
No.
don't have to consume media.
Nope.
It can be a thing and we can go, no thanks. And
Nope.
that's okay.
Yep. I don't know. Maybe it will be mind-blowing when we see previews and stuff. Maybe it will be cool.
I would love to eat my hat on that one, but we'll see.
Yep. And that's a nice hat. Wait, no, you don't have it anymore. Never mind.
No, sadly.
All right. Here's one from Mace. How would a Sonicified 4 Emperors work? Would Kaido be a dragon? And would Blackbeard be a hippopotamus? What about Big Mom and Shanks?
What is this a reference to?
This is 4 Emperors, I guess. I don't know. Honestly. I'm sorry, Mace. One Piece. Oh.
Oh, have not seen it. Sorry.
Yeah, couldn't tell you. Sorry. All right, here's one from Melodillo. It's board game night. Who of the Sonic cast is in attendance and what are they playing? I'm totally not sending this while coming fresh off decimating my friends at Scrabble. Nice.
I mean, Sonic will be there if he's, in the mood to chill out. If he's in between Globetronic adventures. Amy, I figure, is organizing. Tails will be in attendance, to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
The Chaotix are there. Somebody has to keep an eye on Charmy, and why not hang out with friends, do fun things, and it's just happens to be held at Vanilla's house. So why wouldn't Vector be there? He's looking after Charmy. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Meanwhile, Charmy's over there doing something terrible, and Vector is not paying attention.
Silver's there because he just wants the novelty of playing a board game that has all the pieces for once.
And with more than just himself.
I get to call it Yahtzee to someone other than me.
Yay!
Blaze wants to play along just for the cultural experience. She doesn't really get to do fun board games with the aristocracy or the staff. She gets to just chill and have a fun game with people, and she might be a little rules lawyery once she gets a hang of it, but she's there for a good time.
Good.
And Big is there. They will play Go Fish just the once for him, and then they'll move on to something else.
Aw, only once?
Well, maybe he keeps playing it by himself, but
No! He keeps playing it with Charmy.
The game just evolves into them yelling "Go Fish" at each other, not actually making progress.
Exactly.
But they're having fun, and that's what's important.
And then Big actually leaves and goes fish. Who flips the table? Knuckles, obviously.
Wait, I thought that's how I won. No, Knuckles.
Well,
just flings a whole dining room set. Yahtzee!
Oh no. I'm being shown that Cream has broken out Cards Against Humanity.
Oh no.
No, don't.
Cream is not allowed to play half that deck.
No.
Surely there's
put
a kid's version of Cards Against Humanity.
Who gave her that? I think it's called, what is it, Apples to Apples? Is that
Yeah?
I think that's the family-friendly version. Yeah. All right. Here's this next question from Mendoza. Who would win in a boxing fight, Ian or Kyle? It could sell for a lot of money if they make it happen. No, it wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, not to brag, but I did take karate in first grade.
Yeah. Well, I did judo when I was 3.
Oh, wow. Battle the Titans here.
I think we would be too winded to even fight by the time we got to the ring. I know I would be.
I don't know, man. I never actually learned how to throw a proper punch.
No.
Every scuffle I got in, I just kind of overpowered with size, picked them up and threw them.
Jesus.
I'm the fat NPC enemy out of Streets of Rage, basically.
I guess that makes 2 of us. That makes both of us. Yeah. I'm just I have no strength. I'm not a fighter. Yeah.
Tell you what, though, if someone really does want to like put together and sponsor a charity fight, we will totally duke it out with pool noodles.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, I was going to say. I mean, I'm not getting punched for real.
Start playing Duel of Fates over the loudspeakers and just whopping each other with pool noodles.
Yeah. I'm being told pillow fight. No, pillows hurt. Pillows are a lot.
Depending on the audience, we might get more money for that.
All right, fine.
Again, strictly for charity.
Of course. I don't want to know if I want that money. I don't know if I want that money, though. I know where it's been. Here's a question from Metamode. Is Illumina REM's boss?
I'm not going to talk about Dream Team for spoilers.
Yes. Go and play the game. Here's a question from Morless. I'm asking this on behalf of our dear friend Rabbit Haver from the BumbleKast Discord server. Which member of the cast do you think would most benefit from an as-needed Xanax prescription?
I don't know if I feel comfortable doing our usual joke riffs on this because, you know, it's an actual prescribed medication and dealing with anxiety or depression derived from anxiety or just depression in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like playing it for laughs. It's, I don't know, who could actually benefit from it? I mean, probably Whisper. I mean, she's the one character who seems to have like legitimate trauma and difficulty dealing with it. But beyond that, I can't really think of anyone.
Well, Rabbit Haver themselves is in the chat, and they are suggesting Jewel.
No, Jewel's fine. I mean, she has stressors in life, but she's able to manage and acknowledge when she needs to take time off and do self-care. Yes. She doesn't need to be medicated.
She needs, I mean, if anybody needs real therapy, they should get actual real therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't get diagnosed by some guy on a podcast. Please don't. If you need help, don't listen to some guy's advice on a random podcast. Please don't.
Unless that advice is to seek real help.
Except that, yes. Go talk to somebody for real. Not a podcast guy.
And even if you're in the camp of, you know, self-medication, do keep in mind that doctors are there for a reason. They may not have the answer you want, and maybe you should seek out a second opinion. That's your right too. But don't just go on gut feeling, because if your wires are crossed, you're not going to be able to get the best answer from yourself. You know, listen to what your body's telling you, to be sure, but also speak to an expert on the outside who can get a perspective that you may not necessarily have for yourself. It's like we say at the end of the show, be good to yourselves.
Yes.
And that means in a variety of ways.
Yes. All right, let's move on to this next one from Mixer17. If Sonic was allowed to keep the one game only power-ups / transformation within some reason, what are the things you'd give his other enemies and rivals that are to some extent limited by tech to make them closer to his equals again?
It really would depend on, you know, what that one power is and what that one particular rival. I don't know. Maybe the rivals' enemies might all have to step up, I guess, if he's now got this new central power. If it was something like all the crazy moves he can do out of Frontiers,
mm-hmm.
that seems like the easiest direct upgrade. Like, you know, Shadow actually trains for once. You know, he has to be Ultimamer.
Ultimator?
Or maybe he starts dropping the limiter rings more often and pulls off more crazy pyrotechnics. You know, Metal Sonic gets a straight up upgrade from Eggman. God, that's a terrifying thought. Yeesh. Metal Sonic pulling off Frontiers level fisticuffs and projectiles? Good Lord.
That would be cool.
Be cool looking, but... And then other stuff like... Some of it is so off the cuff. Like, I don't know if I would say Sonic wielding Caliburn is that big of a skill thingy. I mean, Sonic seems to pick up and drop skills pretty easily. It's,
yeah,
you know, maybe he just picks up a baseball bat in the regular world. starts calling that one Caliburn and wielding it. That I see is different than like the Frontier's powers.
It sounds like Sonic's going through withdrawals.
This is my new friend Wilson.
Oh no.
And if we go like super crazy, like Werehog.
Yeah. If he keeps the Werehog, if it's like
or gets it back,
maybe it's like a Hulk thing where he's like when he gets mad, he goes great, goes Werehog or something. I don't know.
Shadow Werehog would be pretty boss looking. Not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah.
And you know what? He's kind of got it built in. Maybe say it's like a Black Arms mutation. You know, Gerald didn't do all the math properly, or cosmic rays hit him or something. And so he mutates to be a Werehog equivalent. Or maybe I should stick to more traditional horror tropes. If Sonic's going to be Werehog, then Shadow's got to be vampire.
I mean, I guess if he has to be.
Give him, little fangities. That's going to please one part of the fan base. I know that. I know what you people like. I just don't cater to it.
You people
make him like a
kinks.
Get around the whole biting people and blood thing by just making like an energy vampire. Grabs onto robots or foes and just drains the power out of them. Make him even colder and more aloof than he already is, if that's possible. Now, a straight up metal Werehog or like Mecha 4.0, since that seems to be the more bulkier design, that would be cash money.
Oh, that would be good.
Like some kind of... I'm envisioning something that's almost like a smaller version of Metal Sonic Kai. Like somewhere between Mecha 1 and Kai. That's got like... Oh, give him like the big old smashy piston arms. Yeah, I want that now.
Nice.
Pardon me, I have to make a call.
Bring, hello.
Zuka-san, whatever you're doing, stop it. We need this instead.
Bring, hello, Mr. Sega. Have you heard of this? Get a load of this. All right, here's a question from Nova Poly Duo. Something I've always been curious about. IDW Sonic has that statue of cyber singer Mika. I imagine that means there must be respective games made by ages, so I must know. Who has the most perfect score on all the songs, and why is it Shadow?
Because he's the ultimate life form.
He has the highest...
Honestly, when will you people remember?
He has the high score on every game in existence.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of like what he and Maria did back on the Ark all the time. She loved that game, and fine, he'll play it alongside her just to make her happy. And then she's like, wow, Shadow, you're really good at this. And he's like, yeah, well, I don't mean to be a brag or anything. And go, Shadow, go for the high score. Well, if you insist.
Yep.
He doesn't have to put that swagger or that style into it. But I mean, if he's going to do it, he's going to do it right.
He is cyber singer Mika's biggest fan, but you'd never know it. And our last question before we take a break is from OK Cheese Stick. Can the Master Emerald lift up any plot of land into the sky, or does Angel Island have special floaty powers that are specifically activated by the Master Emerald? If I throw the emerald at someone's house, will it shoot up into the stratosphere, never to be seen again? Funny, but I hope not.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, that the creation of Angel Island was a special circumstance. Like, I don't think if it gets knocked off anywhere else, whoop, that bit of land starts to come up. That'd be funny, though.
That would be.
Eggman plugs it into the Death Egg robot and just starts to float away like a balloon. Fires off that laser one time and goes tumbling through the stratosphere.
Yeah. Well, the Master Emerald is at least part of what keeps Angel Island afloat, right?
Yeah,
that's why it falls that's why it falls when it's taken off. Yeah,
right. But I'm saying when Tikal inadvertently made Angel Island, I think the energy was kind of infused in that one moment. I don't think it's a transitional ability.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Although it's very funny to think of like putting the Master Emerald in someone's house and having it just take off.
It's like the inverse of Thor's hammer. You put it on and you fly away.
Amazing.
Supersonic's trying to return to Earth at the end of the game, but he just can't descend.
Just can't get it to go back down. Dang it. Oh.
BioLizard's trying to drag the Ark down to the Earth. Knuckles like, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Taps the Master Emerald. Ark just keeps going in the opposite direction.
Yep.
Stupid lizard is screaming and flailing around. Can't figure out why I can't drag the Ark back down.
Oh, man. It's funny. Oh, man. I think it's time we take a break. I think that's enough silliness.
We'll be back in just a minute with more BumbleKast.
And we're back. We have a question from Professor Scruffy Matt. It's Christmas time, and Sonic fans are taking part in that most ancient of Yuletide pastimes, Whamageddon. Which character lasts the longest without hearing Wham's Last Christmas? And who is the first character to bomb out of the competition?
Amy's going to lose first, because she's the first one to go out there and do actual Christmas shopping. You get stuff for people. She's going to be the most exposed.
Uh-huh.
Sonic might last the longest because he's always traveling around. It's a matter of how close he gets to urban areas.
Is it just thinking like, does it count if it's Doppler affected as he runs by?
Or does Eggman learn that Sonic is actively avoiding cities to win, so he starts chasing him with a giant set of boombox speakers?
Yeah, wow, yeah. Oh, man.
Or maybe Knuckles wins by default because he's just, up there.
No, he's like humming it to himself all the time. Or maybe that Shadow singing it to himself. Dang it, I ruined it for myself. I lost. He can't get it out of his head. Anybody else who can hit last? I don't know.
I mean, everybody else, they're sociable. They go out to places. They'll be caught soon enough.
Yeah,
we're talking the extremes here.
Yeah, Whisper would be greatly annoyed, though. She would lose only because she's spending too much time with Tangle. Tangle starts screaming it. Here's a question from Rabbit Haver. How would Silver and Shadow deal with having their own Surge-type character? A traumatized, borderline unkillable individual who won't stop until they're dead and personally blames them for all their suffering and isn't even entirely wrong about it.
So, Mephiles?
Did he blame both Silver and Shadow?
I mean, they were there at his origin. They are the ones who tracked him down, sealed him in the Scepter of Darkness, and sealed away Iblis.
Okay, well...
Shadow is the very essence of his physical form. And they actively are trying to prevent him from rejoining with Iblis and becoming Solaris once more. So, yeah. And given that he's made out of darkness and anger, he is nigh unkillable. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is not the spirit of the question, I understand, but I just wanted to point that out.
Me, Files. I should have known it was you.
Shadow wouldn't particularly care one way or the other. If someone was created in his image to combat him, well, that's their damage. It's their choice whether or not to continue with it, just as he's made his choice to live his life his way. If you want to pick a fight, fine. He'll put you down. Yep. Get over yourself.
No, I refuse.
Silver would be the exact opposite. He would want to make amends. He would want to make, things right, bring justice for them, but not at his expense. He's not going to lay down and die to assuage someone else's trauma. He will fight to protect himself and others, but he'll feel bad about it.
I'd like that, though. He'll do that, but he feels bad about it. And here's a question from Samuth Star. In an ambitious but very poorly planned business venture, BumbleKast has opened a new shop in the local mall, Bumble Comics and Collectibles. Nobody's heart is really into it, and there isn't much of a budget to get started, so the store only sells cheap bootleg merch and comics of questionable authenticity. What sorts of wonders and abominations could we hope to find in the bootleg Bumble store?
I do beg your pardon, but this is quality bootleg. You're trying to tell me Shrek isn't one of the Avengers? Come on now.
I mean, you'll definitely find my original black and white copy machine copied version of Archie Sonic number 9 in there. For sure.
And authentic reprinting.
It is very authentic, yes.
Because it's reprinted, you can't deny that.
No, I reprinted it. Well, my mom reprinted it for me herself back in the day.
And look at that staple job. You can't tell me there was no heart put into that.
Yeah, there's one staple. It's in the corner. It's not even like properly like the page order is all messed up.
It's avant-garde at that point.
Exactly. The story of Pseudo Sonic has never been told as it's never been told before. Sonic gets the poison sumac. That's like, you'd never believe it. It's amazing.
And all those weird tie-dye colored carnival Sonic plushes. You'd have to pay some serious money and win a game to even touch one of these. Here, they're for the low price of $39.99.
Well, apparently those are officially licensed. Those are real.
Yeah, I know, but they're silly looking.
I know, they're very...
And again, you'd have to win one of those rigged games to get it. Here, you can buy it just off the shelf.
Exactly. That's true. And what would we be called, apparently, at the off-brand Bumble store? Well, I mean...
we don't give our names. We don't give numbers. Buy something or get out.
You can call us Arnold and Kevin. Off-brand Starline plushes. Yep. Lots of those. They keep showing up. I don't know. It's weird.
Come on, kids. Don't you want your very own Starline?
Star me the Duck Man? Oh boy. Yeah, that's pretty much what would happen. Also, why are we in a mall? Like, most malls are dying.
I don't know. I think that's pretty on brand.
I guess so, because it's probably cheap. You have the Bumble Dice there, but they're the crappy versions.
That's our one bit of legitimate material.
Oh, I guess.
But we produced way too many. Do you want to buy like 5 or 6, please? We got to get in the black on this.
I mean, I do still have a bag full of them.
If you want your very own Bumble Dice, head over to Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast and look at the store tab.
Yes.
They are really nice, though. They're very pretty.
Yes, they are very good. Yes. If you like to add some BumbleKast themed D6s to your dice collection, check them out. This was not an intentional way to make product placement on this show, but it worked. So thank you, Samuth.
Our segue may be dicey, but not our product.
No, it is actually. It's dice exclusively dice.
Yeah, I know. That's the...
Anyway, here's one from Sammy. If Vanilla died, who would take Creamin' and raise her? Boy, this escalated quickly. Would Amy take her in and raise her little sister? Would she stay at her house and Gemerald attempt to take on Vanilla's responsibilities and struggle to provide for Cream? Would Vector take her in and make her an honorary 4th Chaotix member? Is Black Doom gonna become a stepfather?
Vector isn't the stepdad. He's the dad that stepped up.
Exactly.
Look, I know I've done some monstrous things in the past, but the idea of a very quiet and dark house with Gemerald robotically going through the motions to keep it maintained and Cream being sad and alone, you wounded me. Is this what I've been doing to people?
Now you know
I'm a monster.
Now you know what it feels like.
I could definitely see the Sonic crew coming together to be kind of a found family support network for her.
Mhm.
If the Chaotix don't take her in, Amy, for sure. But she would find support and comfort somewhere. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it would be a big problem, but kind of morbid. I don't want to really think about
I don't
this.
want to go there, but yeah,
Yeah.
she'd be okay in the long run. They would take care of her.
Yes. Alrighty. This one is from Scurvy Pirate Hog. Amy is a fantastic character, and while we've seen her dealing with her own romantic feelings for Sonic, we've never seen how she'd handle it if someone else had romantic feelings for her. So, out of curiosity, and add a bit more spice to make this funny, what if the End had romantic feelings for Amy? Like, I will spare your world if Amy goes on a date with me.
When the moon in the sky wants to come and say hi, that's the end there. It's the end of the world, not if he gets the girl, that's the end there.
Damn it.
Just imagining the big old photorealistic purple moon, but with like the little blushy anime hash marks.
There's our thumbnail.
Across all the ages, across countless civilizations, it has experienced nothing as pure, as lovely as the single rose.
Amazing.
Perhaps it has been wrong. Perhaps if it had stopped for just a moment to consider the life that it was snuffing out, it would have seen others like this Amy. Maybe now it can change. Maybe now it has found the true meaning and true calling after all this time. And while it's distracted, Supersonic punches a hole straight through it. Gone.
Well, you know.
And Amy's like, thanks, Sonic. That guy was a creep.
Yeah, pretty much. Ruined, ended their dreams. The End's dreams are ended. Well, here's a question from Supersonic Fan. What if Rough and Tumble met the Three Stooges? And they become the Five Stooges, I think.
I'm inclined to give Starline a role in this as well, to be the Mo out of the three of them.
The Six Stooges?
Where are those professionals I hired? And they come stumbling through the door. And from there, it's just nonstop slapstick.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is hitting somebody else, whether intentionally or not. You've got a running animosity between Curly and Tumble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you ain't got no hair. You ain't got no tail.
Yeah.
You have Mo and Starline fighting over who's in control of the operation. Starline sets himself up for the fist bump gag, except it activates the tricore and somebody ends up against a wall.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I don't know, it'd be funny.
It would be good. It would be pretty good. You throw Boom Knuckles in there and you get the Magnificent Seven.
God, there was one Three Stooges bit where they're plumbers. And Curly's dealing with a leaky pipe, and he tries to fix it by just adding another length of pipe to it.
I mean,
but of course, the water starts coming out of that, so he adds another length of pipe, and he adds another length of pipe. And cut away to another gag, cut back to him, and he smiles, dusting off his hands because there's no more leaks. But then he goes, as he realizes he's encaged himself in a network of pipes.
Yes.
And
yep.
I just see Boom Knuckles doing that.
He absolutely would. He definitely would. Yeah. I like it. He absolutely would do that, though. That is 100% canon. All right, let's move on to this question here from the Oddly Roger. Due to multiverse shenanigans, Sonia and Manic from Sonic Underground are saddled with babysitting Sonia and Manic from Mobius 30 years later. What hijinks would ensue? How does each party feel about their niece and nephew / aunt and uncle from another dimension? Do they find common ground being royalty or by being related to Sonic? Or should I say common underground?
Ew. Such punnery is music to my ears.
Oh,
Um, so there would be a bit of weirdness on Underground Sonia and Manic's part because these kids are named after them, like in canon. That's a little weird
somehow,
but whatever, roll with it. And Sonia's like, well, they're royalty too, so she's going to have a fine time with this. Prim and proper children. Why are they not prim and proper? Oh God, they're just like Sonic. Manic is absolutely the fun uncle. Like he's going to let them stay up late and eat ice cream and pillow fight and cause problems, but then he gets them too worked up and now he's exhausted because these kids have more energy than he does and the place is a wreck and Sonic and Sally be back in any minute and Sonia help. And that's when Sonia lays down the law and she gets things organized and she figures how to use reverse psychology to get the kids in line, get them to go to bed. Everything's cleaned up by the time the Royals get back. And
well, I guess that's good.
I mean, maybe it's a little paint by numbers, but I think it'd be entertaining.
Sure. It would be fun. And we got this question here from the Phantomist. Kirby and the Forgotten Land spoilers. This question mentions the final boss, so be warned. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but instead of Kirby as the protagonist, it's Silver. How would Silver feel about the Forgotten Land? Would it hit too close to home for him, or would he be relieved to see nature reclaiming it? And how would he react to the evil psychic life form Effecto Elphilis?
And Silver would be sad to see ruination, but I think he would at least be somewhat pleased to see some green. He doesn't get a lot of green in his post-apocalyptic scenarios.
Yeah.
He would feel for the people who were lost, but he would be somewhat encouraged by nature thriving so that life can come again.
Life finds a way.
And then once he makes his way to the end and realizes what's all going on, there are Waddle Dees to protect. Gosh darn it. There is life to protect from evil machinations, and he will fight. And oh boy, that'd be a cool looking fight.
That would be awesome. Yeah. And it would be fun to play a game as Silver, like not like Sonic 06 type, but just as a proper Silver game. That would be cool.
Here's a question. Could you reasonably give him Kirby-esque gameplay where, I mean, he can't copy powers, but could he steal weaponry or accoutrement from the various baddies and use them psychically? Like steal the sword off of Blade Knight and now swings the sword with his psychic powers, and then that power runs out or he gets hit, so he loses his concentration and the sword drops and despawns and he's back to his normal psychic grab, which is more or less Kirby's Inhale.
Yeah.
The Float, which is Kirby-esque as well. I don't want to completely reduce Silver's gameplay just to make it fit the Kirby mold, but thinking Forgotten Land specifically, Sonic 06, Silver was a little more thoughtful platforming. It might work.
Maybe. I guess that could work.
Or maybe, the magic of Dreamland or I guess Earth or whatever, that universe, he can psychically imprint. And now he's got geokinesis or sword kinesis, whatever you want to call it. Gladikinesis.
Yeah.
Pyrokinesis, whatever. Just because of the special circumstances.
Yeah, it would be cool either way. I would just be glad to play as Silver in some fashion that's, good. That's been a while. As in, it's never happened, sadly. Officially, at least. Here's one from Twilord. So what does help Harold relax after a rough day?
A jacuzzi tub full of cranberry sauce.
Weird, but all right. Good for him.
I mean, it can't be, actual viscera. Tails frowns upon the murder of innocence. So cranberry sauce kind of gets the same feeling. Generally the same color. He's fine with that.
Tails? You mean Shadow?
Sure.
What Tails? It's a little weird.
Well, Shadow doesn't own a jacuzzi. He had to get it from somebody.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Shadow doesn't own anything. To be fair.
Tails, I have a son now. He's a giant monster. Quick, build a condo for him to live in. What? What? He needs a jacuzzi that can process viscera. No, how about cranberry sauce? Good enough.
Shadow, you have a cave. Put him in there.
I want something better for my son.
Oh no, he's getting too attached. All right. Well, which is a good thing we have only one last question. This one is from Windstar Osprey. The positive reception to Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog shows that, in the right hands, our favorite hedgehog and his friends can have fun adventures in what many would call slow genres, without it seeming too weird or forced. If this were to happen again, what sort of genre would you like to see them tackle next? I, for one, would love to see them take another crack at a Sonic RPG. Sonic and friends, check out the latest virtual/augmented reality fantasy role-playing game/escape room, only for Eggman or another villain to hijack the systems and turn it into a deadly game, blocking their abilities to make things interesting.
I still contend you can do a Sonic RPG that feels Sonic-y.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Use like one of the Tales of engines so that you have, overworld you can run around, and the combat is simple but action oriented, and it can be deep if you want it to be. And then the slower bits are just like the story elements, but with proper writing and direction with the cutscenes, they don't have to drag. You can keep things moving. So yeah, Sonic RPG, easy peasy. If you're thinking something more like classic turn-based, like kind of like what Mario RPG does, that I see might be a little too slow-paced. I mean, even with kind of the inputs you can do with Mario RPG or even Paper Mario, I don't feel like it's necessarily as fast, or is not fast enough. There's too much give and take, wait and pause, act, react. Something more like a Tales of game keeps you in the action, and you're always moving to some degree or another. I will die on that hill.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
I also have it in my head that you could do a Fire Emblem-esque tactical game. Maybe. It would have to, the focus would have to be off of Sonic himself. It would have to be like Sally is commanding the resistance during the Eggman War or something.
Yeah.
Maybe there are ways to tweak the maps and the encounters so that the strategy is done more swiftly, like not necessarily as in depth as like Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics. Like I bring up Fire Emblem specifically because that's, a tactical game that I can almost handle. That's how low the bar is. So if you're going for a crowd that's typically more looking for your action platformer and they're gravitating towards this style of gameplay, maybe something akin to that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that working.
I mean, shoot, I would love to see the team do another visual novel style game like Murder of.
Well, definitely.
No,
I feel this could be a whole series of great games.
What's another slower paced styled game?
Point and click adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun, I think.
That's a Chaotix game.
That's
right
a Chaotix game, yeah.
One of those like stealth action titles, your Splinter Cells, your Metal Gears.
Metal Gear.
I don't know. Because that one, the gameplay is all around being very methodical and deliberate and then screwing up and panicking. But I don't know, maybe a Rouge title where she's stealthing around, stealing stuff, gaining intel, invading bases and whatnot.
Yeah, I could see that working. I mean, then again, you talked about a Knuckles Metroidvania before. That's not really a fast-paced genre.
Yeah, I guess not.
Not compared to just plain Sonic.
Well, yeah, true. I just think of all the stuff that comes flying at you and Metroidvania at any given time. But it is, built around checking your corners and, entering rooms cautiously and exploring and gathering skills so that you can explore further versus run to the right, go fast.
Yeah.
I mean, speedrunners can turn those games inside out, but those are an elite group. They're not your standard gameplay. So yeah, maybe Metroidvania with Knuckles. Yeah. Rouge even, you can do the heist in 2D. That works.
Yeah. Either way, I'm down. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the BumbleKast.
Thank you to everyone who supports the show via patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. Look forward to more BumbleKast throughout the week, every weekday here in the month of December, our special gift to you. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. See you probably tomorrow. I mean, I won't. It'll be like we recorded it in the past, but, still. See ya. Rabbit says, I'm recording this on an IBM 5150. I wish. I want a Tandy 1000. Or maybe not, since they're not fully IBM DOS compatible. It's only like a half measure. Anyway. I don't know why I'm the one who murdered Vanilla now. Why did this happen?
You spoke it into being.
I didn't do it. I didn't say it. Well, I did say I read the question. It wasn't me. Don't look at me.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, a little too high. Just a tad.
Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Level check, 1, 2, 1.
You need to be consistent. I can't do it. I can't match.
Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
God damn it, Ian. Why are you so spicy today? Okay.
Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Level check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Good enough. I'm not gonna mess it around. I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore. Have you just gone full Eggman? Is this it? You're just like, yep, time for everyone else to die.